Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back, and let's continue building our train network. Last time we built the first of the lines going from the base to the north, but now we need to head west to get to this coal mine. There's also a copper mine over there, which could be very convenient, and there's iron on the way as well, so we could possibly run this way and pick up all three of those, but for now it's the coal that I'm most interested in. So it might be hard to thread in between these and still have room for our train stops, so I'm thinking it might be better to go to the north where we have more room to set things up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my control key so I can set a temporary stop. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted. Let's go to the other side. We'll do another one. Okay. Now when you're doing these temporary stops, if you have other trains in your schedule, you have to be careful, because by default it'll go to the stop, it'll wait 5 seconds, and then the train will continue along its way. Which is great if you just want to hitch a ride and then get out and let the train continue on. In this case, I don't want it to continue on. So I'm going to switch to manual mode and then just remove that temporary stop manually. There used to be a mod that would put it in manual mode automatically that I used. I can't remember the name of it right now. Okay, so we need to get over there. So what I am going to do is I'm going to start building a 90-degree, or like a T intersection on this section of rail. And actually, you know what? I think I do want it over here. I'll just do this manually. I'm going to back up to get it out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to key off of this power pole here, and we're going to start to construct a T intersection. So the T intersection, we will want to be able to go, first I'll set up another one of these out here just so we know where we need to start and stop. Right, so when we come in or off of this, we want it to align with these rails, which is in line with the power poles that are already set up. Okay, so one of the first things that we'll do is try to figure out where we need to put, let's see, looks like the next one, yeah. Okay, so that'll be the first part. And that'll be the second part. So this will allow us to go around and go over that way, and then on the way back we could merge in. Now this by itself in this case could be enough as long as that U-turn is right there. But there are going to be a lot of cases where we will want to come here and turn left. Okay, so we're going to need to build in a left turn on this thing. So let's come down a few. We're going to have to remove the pole because it's actually going to be in the way. All right, so that's left turn number 1, and that's left turn number 2. Okay, so this way the train can enter this way. It can go west from either the south or the north, and it can go north or south from the west. But now the signals are all wrong. Because if we look at this now, the system is confused about what block is what. So we're going to have to enhance our signal setup here. So I'm going to start by removing those. And this is where things will start to get a little confusing for a lot of people. But never fear, we will get through it. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting a normal signal at the end of each junction, of each merge, let's say. Okay, so there's a merge right here where these two tracks merge. There's a merge there. Okay, and then there's a merge there. And that's it. Only 3 merge points, right? Because this one goes this way and merges there. This one goes this way and merges there. This one goes this way and merges there. And this one doesn't merge anywhere. Okay, so we got our merges covered. And now we need to put in some chain signals. And the reason for the chain signals, basically what a chain signal does is it just repeats the next rail signal in front of it. So if this one is green, as it is right now, and I put down a chain signal right here, it's just going to repeat that. It'll be green. In this case, that one is red, so if I put a chain signal here, the chain signal is red. Now, what is the point of doing that? Well, the point is that if I have a red signal up there, I might want the train to stop back here instead of going all the way up to that signal. And that's what a chain signal is good for. And they're especially useful at junctions because, let's say, for example, this train is coming down this track and there's a train blocking up here. So this train will come all the way down to this signal and it'll stop and wait right here for the path ahead to clear. Now in the meantime, the train is blocking this entire intersection, or this entire junction. So if a train was coming north and wanted to go left over here, it would not be able to do so because this train would be in the way. So what we would rather have happen is that if this signal is red, we would rather have this train stop right here. And that way the path will be clear for a train to turn left. And we can do that by using the chain signals. Okay, now this one is still, see how it's flashing? That's because it's still a little bit confused because there's too much going on here. So we'll put another one and yet another one. Does that help? No, not yet. All right, we need to put more signals. Okay, so that'll cover a train coming this way with this one being red. Now if it's going this way, if the train is going this way and it's red, I don't mind if it comes here and stops because it's not blocking anything that it wouldn't be blocking already. Oh no, it is. Let's put a chain there. There we go. Okay, yeah, because if this train came all the way up here, then it would be blocking this path as well. So this way the train will stop here if this one's red. So again, a train could come in there or could, go around this way. And it'll stop here if this one is red. And then we just repeat this process for the other two directions. Okay, so if this one's red, I'll let my train go all the way up here. Why? Because if a train was coming this way and this one's red, this train is going to get here first anyway, so I don't care if it blocks the intersection. But I don't want this train to come and stop here because then it's blocking some of the other paths. So I'm going to put a chain signal right there so that if this train is coming down the line and that one's red, it's going to stop here. Okay, now again it's flashing and that's because we need another signal somewhere. Maybe right here? No. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. And then coming this way, there we go. Now it's not confused anymore. Okay, so if this one's red, we'll make it wait here instead of coming all the way down. Okay, so that covers trains. Okay, now let's cover the train going in this direction. So we're coming in this direction. And this one is red. We can make the train stop there so that it doesn't block this track. And if this train wants to go left, let's put that there. There we go. How does that look? Okay. Okay, train's coming here. We've got that covered. It'll either stop here or here, depending on when that one goes red. If a train is going this way, it'll either stop here. Well, it'll only stop here, or it'll stop up here. I wonder if I can squeeze another one in here. Well, that's not necessary. That one's fine. Okay, a train coming this way. We got that one covered. A train coming south. We got that one covered. We could even put another one right here. So if it gets past this one and then it turns red, maybe there'll be time for it to stop right there. Yeah, it's probably not necessary. I'm just trying to think if there's any other possibilities I need to cover for. I don't think so. And then we can pick up a signal, and then that'll show us our blocks, right? So all this blue is one block. So if there's a train anywhere in there, then that block will be occupied. This part is one block. We could put another signal right here just to break up that block. Not needed. Well, yeah, let's put it there. And then coming this way, I think we're good. Okay. So I think that looks... I feel like I might be missing something here, but I think that looks okay. All right. So I'm going to get rid of this. And now I just have to take care of the power pole situation. So let's just we'll put a power pole there. Try to make it somewhat symmetrical. And we'll put a power pole there. Okay. And that is our intersection. Now I'm going to make a blueprint of this so that we can use it elsewhere. Oh, you know what? Let's put in the exit as well. How far can we go? Okay, that's maximum power pole distance. All right, and one signal on the leading edge in each direction. Okay. And then what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to make a blueprint from up there, and I'm going to copy this whole thing. Okay, and we can put a T there. T-junction. I'm not going to grid this because this is not something that we're going to be tiling normally. But the way we can use this print is, let's say I want to put a T-junction here, right? I know it's going to go approximately there. I would just need to come and remove this power pole and those signals, and then I can paste it right on top of that. Okay, and then from here, oh, crud. Okay. This is a feature of the train system in Factorio that you can't shift it by one tile. You can only shift it 2 tiles at a time, and sometimes your blueprints are 1 tile off. And it's a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move both of these signals back by 1. And I'm going to move that power pole back by 1. And I'm going to hope that that fixes it. Okay. I have the same number of tiles on each side. All right, so let's delete this one. Let's try this again. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, let's try this. Okay, now it matches up. And when I say that's a feature, that's tongue-in-cheek, obviously. It's not a feature. I mean, it is, but it's a sucky one. Okay. T-junction. All right, good. So now we got a straight part and we got a T-junction. So now we can continue laying our rail. Let's just do this from the map. Although, you know, the problem is that when you're in map view, you can't go beyond where you can see anyway, so it doesn't really help us that much. But at least this way we can see where we need to clear trees and stuff. So we'll just lay down all the blueprints, we'll clear all the trees, and then we'll physically lay in all the rail. Okay, we need to clear trees there. I wish the range for these grenades was a little bit bigger. Oops, wrong one. Okay, and then we have some friends up here. Hello, friends. Come and get some. Stepping in goo somewhere. Okay, and here is the coal mine that's going to save the day. It's not quite as big as I was hoping for, but that's okay. All right, so while we're here, let's set up the mine itself, and then we'll run the rails when we're on our way back, so that we don't have to make an extra trip. Yeah, let's do this the easy way. Now, you don't want to go crazy eliminating trees because they do absorb pollution, which helps keep the biters under control. So keep that in mind. 38. I don't know if that's going to be enough mining drills. Let's see. I'll start in the middle. Whoops. And I'm not going to bother counting them. I'm just going to get as many as I can to cover the entire ore patch. Yeah, I probably should have brought more. Let's see if I can craft some. Okay, yeah, I can make a few. This should be enough to get it covered at least. Alright, and then we'll have a couple lonely ones right here. Okay. Then I'll use up some of these wooden power poles. There. Throw in some belts. Okay. And then let's see. The rail is up here. So probably what I'll do is I'll put a U-turn and then we'll set up a small station coming off the side. I'll show you that when we get done with this part. Okay. So now I've got 4 belts coming off of the mine. And I'm going to want to feed 1 belt into each loading wagon or into each cargo wagon. But I want to make sure that the belts all have the same amount of material on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these into a 4-to-4 belt balancer. And I'll show you how to make that right now. It's not too complicated, but it's not really intuitive either. So you take your 4 belts, you run it into 2 splitters like that. You put another splitter in the middle. Then you go into underground belts, 3 spaces, 3 spaces. You put another splitter in the middle. These 2, oh, I ran out of belts. Jeez. All right, well, we're going to have to go back home for supplies either way. These 2 belts go in like that. And then back out again. And then 2 more splitters. Okay, and that's a 4-to-4 belt balancer. So no matter what's coming in on these 4 belts, the 4 belts coming out of this will all have exactly the same amount of material. Basically, you're taking these 2 belts, mixing them together. Half of them goes straight through. The other half comes here and mixes with the outer 2 belts. Half of which are mixing with the inner 2 belts. Anyway, it mixes them all together and ensures that you get the same amount coming out the other side. Just remember this pattern. You'll use it a lot. So, a little splitter pyramid, underground belts, another splitter in the middle for the outside belts, and then 2 splitters at the end. Okay, let's put down some more rail, and then we'll set up a loading station. And I'm not going into more detail on the splitters because it's really or into the balancer because it could really be an hour-long topic on its own. I would like to get a blueprint of that U-turn. See, this is one thing I don't like, is like placing the end of a ghosted rail pattern is kind of difficult. Okay, let's clear that tree. And I think I'm going to have to go back for more rail, too. I probably should have picked all that up while I was back at the base, but I thought that I still had plenty with me. I guess it won't be the last time I'm wrong about something. Hopefully I have enough rail to get back here. Okay. Yeah, so let's go home. I need belts and rails. And I think everything else I'm okay on. But at least now that I have that section of rail, we'll be able to ride all the way back to where the mine is. And I should probably make some more turrets as well. Let's make a couple more so we can set up a wall and some defenses. Okay, belts and rails. I think I have enough signals. I'll grab another stack of regular signals just in case. Okay, belts. Let's get half of the undergrounds. I think splitters are okay. Big power poles, I should get more of those. I have enough lights. A stack of signals, and all the rails I can carry. That should be enough. More rockets would be good too. Let's grab some explosives. Get rid of that coal. Okay, and I have no iron. Let's see. Who wants some stone? You do. No, you're already full. Oh yeah, you take stone brick anyway. I need to get rid of some of the stuff in my inventory. That'll take stone. Alright, yeah, I have a chest here, so let's get rid of some wood. Get rid of stone furnaces and steel furnaces. I don't need those right now. Let's get rid of the wooden power poles. Alright. Let's grab some iron. Some green circuits. There. And now I can make 49 explosives. Let's grab some more iron. Alright. And actually, just as a safety tip, if you have a rocket launcher, it's a good idea to select something else when you're not using it, because if you accidentally hit the fire button with a rocket, you can do a lot of damage to your base. There was a game where I had nuclear rockets and I accidentally fired it at my my tier 3 module factory, and I blew up a whole bunch of valuable stuff. Is it too late? Oh, crud. Alright. I'm gonna go backwards. I want to get a blueprint of that U-turn. I forgot to get it. And I bet $1 million that one of those water things is going to be in the way. And me with no landfill. Okay. U-turn. Oh, you know what? Let's back up again. While we're doing this, I should be able to run power poles from inside the train. So let's do that as we're riding back. So I'm just going to click there. And I'm pushing forward while I hold down the mouse button. That'll save us a little bit of time. Okay, now let's put down our U-turn. Yep, I told you that water was going to be in the way. There. Alright. Perfect. Almost. We were one tile off. Nope. I went too far. It's a little tricky putting in the U-turn manually. Yep, it's too many. It's easier when you have bots to do it. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to clear out these trees so that we can run those belts up here to where the train is going to stop. Okay, so we're going to put our loading station up here, but I don't want it to block the main rail. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little, I don't know what you would call this. It's a little thing. Actually, let's set this back a little bit further. We'll put it right after this signal. Okay, and then I'll put down my stop, and that'll conveniently show me where a 1-4 train goes. By 1-4, I mean 1 locomotive and 4 cargo wagons. Right there seems like a good spot. And then we can merge back in up there. Put that signal there, and then I'll put another signal at the junction. Actually, let's line this signal up with this one. Yeah, that's a little nicer. And then this one goes right there. Okay, and we'll call this coal load. Okay, so now we're going to add a station. We're going to go to coal load until full. And we can put that first in the order. It doesn't really matter, but now what the train will do is it'll go to coal load until its cargo is full. And then it'll leave there. It'll automatically go to unload. It'll wait there till it's empty, and then it'll loop back and go to coal load again. So now we can say go to coal load, and the train will come over here and it'll politely wait for us while we fill it up. Okay. So now we just have to run a bunch of belts and set up the train station similarly to what we did back in the base. Okay, and if you remember the way we did that, 1 tile away, set up a medium power pole in between each pair of wagons, throw in lights if you like. You don't have to put in the lights if you don't want. We'll put in that one there. And I'm not powered on. That means that I probably missed a power pole someplace. I must have broken the connection back here somewhere. Alright, we'll have to go check on that. Alright, now in this case, we're going to have the inserters pointed in, since we're going to be loading. Again, a row of steel chests. In this case, the chests are there so that we can accumulate hopefully a train's worth of ore while the train is delivering. And then we'll go 3 and 3 with a splitter like that. Now they're not going to load exactly evenly. Usually the inside chests are going to load before the outside chests. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, so this one is going to feed that. This one is going to feed that. This one will feed that, and this one will feed that. Okay, and then we need to get power down to the mine itself. Which we can do that way. I'm going to place a radar here so that we can see what's happening. And we'll put down a few turrets. I like to put them close to the mining drills because then they're somewhat... Actually, let's put this one right here. That way if our wall gets breached, they're kind of protected on at least one side, if not two sides. It just reduces the surface area of the attack, which means it'll have a little bit greater chance to kill whatever it is that's after it. We could probably put another... No, that's fine. Okay, and then let's see if I have enough wall to surround this whole thing. That was a bit of a goof, wasn't it? Here, let's do this. All right, that way I have a little more room for my wall. All this junk is in the way. All right, let's do this. Okay. And then we'll come down here. It doesn't have to be perfect. This thing will mine out eventually anyway, and then we'll have to set up another one someplace else. So if it's not beautiful, I wouldn't stress out about it. That's one thing about playing on default settings. You're going to be spending a decent amount of time setting up new mining outposts because they just don't last terribly long. Okay. Now let me show you, put it in manual mode so we can drive ourselves. I'll show you another little trick for laying rail rapidly. Get in your engine. You know what? I'm going to have to delete one section of it because it does this thing when there's a ghost there. But what you can do is just place it down, hold the mouse button, and start driving. And just hold the mouse button down directly in front of your train. And you'll lay down rails as you go. There. Now why don't I have any power over there? I have a lost connection down here someplace. We'll just have to look for where there's a break in the power line. Oh, you know what? I never hooked this up to anything. That explains it. Okay. So I'll just bring this down the side. There. And now the miners are mining, and you'll be able to see the belt balancer in action. Okay, so you can see we've got differing quantities of coal on all these belts. Like this one, for example, only has coal on one side. And then it runs through the balancer, and then out the top you can see that they're all fairly equal. Now, it probably would help a little bit if I balance this one to go on both sides of the belt, just so both sides are somewhat evenly loaded. Because this balancer doesn't shift anything between the two sides of the belt, it just evens out one belt to the next. Okay, so we can go fix that. So now we'll jump in the train and we'll just start the schedule. We'll go to load. And since we're going to load, it's just going to run right through this other station. It won't stop there. Now you can see it takes a little while for it to accelerate. If you wanted faster accelerating trains, you could put 2 locomotives on it. like 2 locomotives or 1 locomotive per 2 cargo wagons will give pretty good acceleration, close to maximum acceleration. Okay, and now it's just going to wait here until it's full. Each wagon will hold 2,000 because there's 40 slots and there's 50 in each stack. So we have a few moments to fix this. So what I'll do is I'll just put a splitter there and then side load, so that way half of it will get put onto the other side of the belt. And like I said, you can see how the inner chests are going to fill up first, which is unfortunate because if you can, I mean, you could theoretically take one belt and have a bunch of splitters and belts and stuff and get it to where each of these 6 chests is going to load evenly. There's also some circuitry that you can set up that'll make them load evenly by only activating inserters that are going into chests that are that are filled less than average. And I've done some of those things, but after a while I just feel like it's not really worth the effort to set that stuff up. What would help instead would be to have more drills and faster belts. The other thing that would help this train load faster is if we had stack inserters here. Now here we don't need stack inserters because you can see these inserters are already unloading the belt fast enough. In fact, we can save some materials and we can replace all these with yellow inserters. And I'm pretty sure that they'll still be able to unload the belt as fast as the coal is coming in. See? So that's fast enough. As long as the belt's not filling up and backing up, then it's fast enough. But we'll keep the fast inserters on the other side because that way we'll be able to fill the train faster and move on our way. And then let the slow inserters just fill up the chest while we're not here. Okay. You get a progress bar here on the cargo status, so you can see we're about 60% full or so. And we'll just wait here a minute for it to finish. And then we'll ride with the train back to the unloading station. Honestly, I kind of like just sitting here staring at the inserters doing their thing. I think it's kind of cool. All right. Yep, so we're getting there. Very slowly. The other thing you could do is you could use faster inserters and just have fewer chests. You know, again, since we're not mining fast enough, we could get by with probably 4 chests instead of 6, or maybe even 2. With, like, if we had 2 chests with stack inserters, it would probably be just as fast as all this is, if not faster. But you know, but this is how you would set it up when you're going for maximum throughput. You would have 6 chests and 6 inserters of some type on each side. And if you had a really large patch, you know, you could run like blue belts full of the stuff and have stack inserters, and the train would load like within 10 seconds or something like that. Hopefully we'll get to that point later on in the game when we have all the productivity researched and we've got speed modules and all that other good stuff. Okay, almost full. And hopefully the 4 wagons will fill up at the same time. If we hover, we can see that they all have about the same amount. So they should fill up roughly simultaneously, which would further prove that, yeah, you can see this one filled up just before the other ones did. Once you see the coal start to collect in the chests, yeah. So they were roughly equal. You know, the splitter's not perfect. It can only split down to single pieces of coal, so it's not going to be exactly precise, but it's roughly equal. All right, now we ride back. Unloading will be faster since everything is here already. And then we got 6 inserters on each wagon working full time to unload. So the unloading will get done a little more quickly, and then the train will take off and go back. So let's just wait here for a minute and watch that happen. And then in the next episode, we'll get it all on belts and hook it up to our coal lines and think about what to do next. I think we should start working on blue science next, because I'm tired of not doing any research. It's no fun. We want to unlock cooler and better technology, especially robots. I really want to get to bots. Things start to get pretty fun when you have bots unlocked. Okay, almost there. And this will just keep going round and round until these chests fill up, if they ever do, or until the mine runs out. Okay. And that'll go back by itself and repeat the process. Meanwhile, we're going to start to generate lots of pollution and attract biters to come and attack. So that'll be fun. Here comes the train. Okay, so that's our first automated train line set up. And like I said, because we set it up the way that we did, I can easily add another one of these stations right here for copper. We could add one right here to pick up iron, to pick up copper there, to pick up uranium later on when we're ready for that. So it's having 2 lanes, 2 unidirectional lanes on your train network makes it very flexible. It does, obviously it takes longer to set up initially, but once you have it set up, you can run, I mean, we could run probably 10 trains on this network without really having any traffic problems. Okay, as opposed to trying to set up 10 different one-way or two-way single rail lines crisscrossing each other all over the place. So, and it's easy to expand. If we want to go farther north, we just remove that U-turn and we keep running north. At some point we might have to design a 4-way junction, although I'm going to try to avoid that because 4-way junctions do tend to cause traffic problems when you start getting a lot of trains to run. Usually it's better to have, for example, instead of having a 4-way right here, it would be better to have a T there and then maybe another T here going in the other direction. That helps to keep traffic problems down. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.